Let's see what we've got here. Oh, I can't wait to see these. Here we go. But instead of typing your responses, you'll be using words from your fellow interviewees to answer the questions. That's why I developed a revolutionary new hiring process. I'm going to interview you all at once and force you to judge each other. Whew, I feel more relaxed already. Deborah, clear my calendar. It's time to get to know our candidates. Geez, all these numbers are stressful, right? Let's cool off with some icebreakers. Probably my fault. My computer only opens MIDI files. That's it! You can also drag words around to rearrange them. Okay, same as before. Respond any way you want, just don't skimp on the details. Put some meat on those word bones. Remember, you can use any word you see on your device in your answer. Try grabbing a word from the question itself. Our employees have to be able to engage in a little small talk. It's my first rule of management. Can't find the right words for what you want to say? Vote on your devices now. This time, I want to know how you would handle some tough workplace scenarios. This has been the toughest decision I've ever avoided making. Great! Let's put these in our filing system. Welcome to the team! Great work. That's what I'll be saying every day to the one of you who gets the job. Let's see who the front runner is. As the boss, I've got to be decisive, so I'm decisiving that you guys should pick. Boy, if I were you, I'd be real nervous now. How about one more icebreaker to keep things light? Welcome, potential hires. We're thrilled you've applied for this exciting employment opportunity. Tap any word you see to add it to your response. If you make a mistake, tap the word again to remove it. Congratulations! You're our new Executive VP of Net New Acquisitioneering. I can tell you're all great candidates. Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of you, and only one job. It's incredibly stressful. For me! If you haven't guessed, I'm the boss around here, but I like to think of myself more as a buddy. A boss buddy. Water? Round 2 of questioning. I've sent some icebreaker questions to your device. Answer them any way you want. There are no rules. Except this one rule. You gotta use at least 5 words, okay? Oh, and Janet, you're fired. My first rule of management? I only hire my dearest, closest friends. So let's get to know each other. I haven't tried it, but it probably works. Now that I've put you all at ease, I'm sending my first round of hard-hitting interview questions to your device. Someone will get that. Don't overthink it. Just put down whatever enters your mind. Then say something different, pal, because that's all you're getting. The first rule of management is limitations foster creativity. In the words of my dad, this is your last chance to impress me, so make it count. I don't even need to read these to know they're great. Not what I would have written, but hey, I already have a job. Stevens, we need some big thinkers. I'm talking big, big. Ever hear of the iPhone? I want someone who's got one of those. Probably my fault. I used them to clean up a mess I made. Interview complete. That's all I needed. Wow, I'm learning a lot from these, including things I legally shouldn't know. Can I be honest? I feel like I'm nailing this. These are both pretty great, but I like one of them better. I just need you guys to remind me which one. Now this is a tough choice, and since choice making is so valuable, why don't you guys show me you can do it? Fun, right? Pretty innovative, right? Genius, right? Sure wish I'd asked these questions to that stapler we had to let go. Everything is words if you dream it. It's almost like you're using my own words against me. Just like Linda. Unless you're thinking about my ex. We're still very close. I just don't want to hear about them right now, okay? This is my space. Unless you're thinking about a big, delicious sandwich. I skipped lunch and I am dying over here. Unless you're thinking about spiders. Too scary. Legally, I have to tell you that none of this is binding until a contract is in place, blah, blah, blah. Let's do one more icebreaker. You know what would go down smooth right now? One more icebreaker. You all did great, but one of you did greater-est. Honestly, I could see myself sharing a cup of toner in the break room with any of you, but we gotta pick one. I wish I could hire you all, but the first rule of management is 1 employee per job. Now that we're all friends, I'm sending my first incisive interview questions to your device. Now that we're pals, I'm sending some tough but fair interview questions to your device. Probably my fault. I don't know how to work email, and I refuse to learn. Probably my fault. I was reading them in a park and a big bird stole some pages. Okay, you know the drill. You can answer however you want, but don't be stingy with the words. Okay, just like before. Say anything you want, but be descriptive. The more you write, the less time I have to spend alone with my thoughts. If you're no good at chit-chat, you're no good to me. That's my first rule of management. You gotta get descriptive so I know I can rely on you for juicy office gossip. It's my first rule of management. Then say something different, I guess. The first rule of management is just make it work already. Then quit complaining and say something else. The first rule of management is go with the flow. My first rule of management: a friend is just a coworker you haven't worked with yet, so let's get acquainted. My first rule of management: always set clear expectations, and I expect us to be best friends, so let's get started. My first rule of management: make sure employees feel prepared. So prepare yourself for some questions happening right now. Let's go. Oh, and Stephanie, you're fired. Oh, and Louis, you're fired. Oh, and Grandma, you're fired. Okay, I'll just file these. All right, now we'll just file your answers. That was a truly brilliant display. Let's see who's my current favorite. I'm not much for reading, but from what I skimmed, you guys did great. Let's see who's in the lead. Good job. And speaking of jobs, let's see who's most likely to get one. Is it just me, or is this report boring? Time for some more icebreakers. Looks right to me, but I'll forward it to my buddies in accounting. Meanwhile, how about some more icebreakers? No pressure, but this is your last chance, and there's a lot riding on it. If you've been holding back all of your really impressive answers, now's the time to let 'em rip. This is your last chance to wow me, and I love being wowed. Congratulations, you're our new Chief Strategy Polisher. Congratulations, you're our new assistant to the assistant manager of thought conflagration. The job goes to... 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 Oh, and Allard, you're fired. Oh, and Andy, you're fired. Oh, and Evan, you're fired. Oh, and Mike, you're fired. Oh, and Kurt, you're fired. The job goes to... The job goes to... Unless you're thinking about polka music, the workplace is no place for polka. Unless you're thinking about a snorkel that's also a flashlight. That's my idea. Unless you're thinking about Oshkosh, Wisconsin, that place is dead to me. Unless you're thinking about French romantic literature, I'm not caught up yet and I don't want any spoilers. Unless you're thinking about parkour, it's like cool it with the jumping. Unless you were thinking about everything you've ever said and trying not to be paralyzed with regret. Unless you're thinking about a nap in a comfy hammock. I gotta stay sharp for this interview. Unless you're thinking about Victorian stage actor Henry Irving. Not a fan. Unless you're thinking about ventriloquism. I don't trust puppets. Unless you're thinking about my landlord. My place has a lot of water damage. Unless you're thinking about collecting rare coins. I've been told to stop talking about coins at work. I love coins. Unless you're thinking about Mondays. What are you, my cat Gorefelt? Unless you're thinking about salad. No one's thinking about salad. Unless you're thinking about sharks and their cold, dead eyes. Unless you're thinking about funhouse mirrors. Not flattering. Unless you're thinking about traffic. I become someone I don't like on the road. Unless you're thinking about Taco Tuesday and why it's not on Thursday too. Makes no sense. Okay, you know the routine, write whatever you want and don't be afraid to get descriptive. Paint me a word picture, dang it. Okay, back to business. Answer the prompts with whatever comes to mind. Open up that word hose and let her rip. Probably my fault. The chair that does my collating is out sick. Probably my fault. A rat got in my desk drawer and everything in there is his now. Probably my fault. I got jealous of all the other jobs you've had, so I ripped them up. Probably my fault. I tried to print them out, but Greg was printing his screenplay. Probably my fault. I keep my most important files in the trash can, and somebody stole them. Probably my fault. I left them under my pillow so I could learn about you in my dreams. Probably my fault. I always forget to empty my briefcase when I put it in the washing machine. Probably my fault. I thought they were junk mail. Probably my fault. The wolves. They come at night and take everything. Probably my fault. I can't stop making confetti. Probably my fault. I used them on my vision board. Probably my fault. I fed them to the office horse. Hello? Of course they know they can join the audience by going to jackbox.tv and entering the room code on the screen. Who doesn't know that? Okay, love you too, Mom. Bubs here. We need more board members? No problem. Anyone watching can go to jackbox.tv and enter the room code to join the board right now. Also, I feel like this could have been an email. You'll notice our esteemed board members in the audience get to weigh in as well. And did I mention our board of directors are voting along in the audience? Well, they are. You'll notice our valued board members watching in the audience can vote too. Just finish the personal statement that's already started on your device. But you know what? I don't need resumes. It's the final round and it appears we're missing something. Your resumes. Oversharing leads to overcaring. It's my first rule of management. Everyone knows the more you talk, the smarter you are. It's my first rule of management. Choose your favorite now. Vote for your favorite now. Cast your vote now. Go ahead and vote already. Math, am I right? Let's do one more icebreaker. I'll be sending you a short survey about this interview after we finish up. Feel free to be brutal. I don't read them. Now, how about one last icebreaker? Hey there! Yeah, I'm doing it now. No, they're still writing. I know, right? Fumigation? Is that today? Well, I'm in the middle of an interview, but go ahead and pump in the gas. They probably won't notice. Looks like words to me. I've never read better submissions. Or any submissions. This counts as your orientation, by the way. I like what I'm seeing. We don't recycle all this paper. Just the words. This is exactly what I hoped each of you would say. You can't argue with the numbers. Believe me, I've tried. No mouths. Let's do some more icebreakers. Good effort, everyone. Let's regroup with some more icebreakers. The biggest number's the best, if you ask me. Anyway, let's try a couple more icebreakers. Boy, if someone asked me to define my entire life in one statement, I would probably freak out and blow it. But I'm sure you'll do fine. If you need motivation, remember, whoever gets the job gets to hang out with me all day, every day. It's your last chance for a home run, so slam dunk it through the goalpost, champ. And hey, don't screw it up. I declare this interview over. Hey, we're done. And that's it. That's the last step. All done. The first rule of management is never fall in love, but one of you has stolen my heart. I wish we had the budget to hire all of you and still pay for my yearly bonus. But we don't. You're all fine candidates. Except maybe you. Anyway, only one of you's getting hired. This is my favorite part of being a manager. Other than being in charge all the time. I bet whoever came up with this is pretty cool. It was me. The only limit is your imagination. And also there's a time limit. If you really fall in love with a word, tap it a whole bunch and use it again and again. You all did equally well. Just kidding, let's look at the scores. A good manager knows that people are more than just numbers. Still, the numbers are the main thing, so let's see them. That took a lot of teamwork. Let's see who teamworked the best. Well done. Let's see who's on their way to the top. Don't let me down. Show me what you got. Okay, let's see 'em. All right, business time. Not bad, right? In business, we call that a curveball. In business, we call that the old switcheroo. Impressed yet? Are you loving this as much as I am? Congratulations! You're our new Vice Senior Corporate Shift Sifter. Congratulations! You're our new Assistant Gross Matrix Manager. Congratulations! You're our new Junior Officer of Urges and Mergers. Congratulations! You're our new Lead Commodities Wrangler and Trainer. Congratulations! You're our new President of Dividends and New Beginnings. Congratulations! You're our new Chief Harbinger of Big Ol' Brands. Congratulations! You're our new General B2B, yeah, you know me, Deputy. Congratulations! You're our new Minister of Micro and Macro Aggressions. Congratulations! You're our new Fiscal Producer of Rock Bottom Lines. Congratulations! You're our new Executive Mayor of Hyperinflation. Congratulations! You're our new Superintendent of Growth Intentions. Congratulations! You're our new Commissioner of Shares and Takes. Congratulations! You're our new Authority Custodian of Culture. Congratulations! You're our new Organizer of Intellectual Jibs and Jabs. Congratulations! You're our new Capital Factoring and Refactoring Maven. Welcome, potential hires.
Go to Jackbox.tv to join the game. Then just put in the room code already. If you were the first person to log in, you'll start the game when everyone's ready, okay? Already logged in? Great. Drag your name into your paper and then pick your avatar. You think I'm just supposed to know who you are? Take a seat. But don't sit on Kevin, he works here. Honestly, I don't care for nuts and baked goods. If you need the restroom, well, I need a vacation, but you don't hear me complaining. Please don't steal our pens, they've been through enough. Shame you weren't here yesterday, we had a nacho bar. I'm kinda having a tough day because I just found out that birds aren't real. How am I? Just twerking for the freak-end.
Stevens, gas up the private jet. Well, then get me a first-class flight. Fine, just bring me a little bag of peanuts. Stevens, find out how many caterpillars there are in Canada. Could be a real untapped market. Lunch orders? Well, I don't know which one I'm hiring yet, but bring in one really good meal, and then I guess a bunch of tap water and croutons. Stevens, somebody parked in my private spot, and even worse, they parked my car there. Oh, wait, never mind. Stevens, I want to apologize for those posts I wrote about you on the company portal. You didn't? Oh, you should check them out. They are hilarious. An exciting business opportunity. You say there are multiple levels to this marketing? Count me in. I'm sorry, we're canceling our membership with your health club. We got a better offer from a fight club. Sure, I can tell you about it. Sorry, Greg, I have to cancel band practice tonight. These guys are really dragging out this interview. Buckle up, Stevens, it's gonna be another all-nighter. I'll make the popcorn, you download more ghost stories off the internet. Stevens, tell Spencer to come in early tomorrow. I'm coming in late and I don't want to run into him. Yes, and the plaque should say best coworker ever, and underneath that, and also friend, and then under that, put maybe best friends, question mark, with 2 question marks. Is that coming on too strong, plaque guy? Oh, you're no help. Hi, I was there yesterday for a detox, and all they did was drain my jug and charge me $500. Ugh, yes, I'll hold. Maintenance, the lights in my office are doing that buzzing thing again. Oh no, wait. There's a bee in my desk. Carry on. Bub's here. 80 pallets of expired fungal cream? At that price, I can't afford not to buy. Stevens, where's the private bidet I ordered? Ew, that's what a bidet is? Never mind. Stevens, send everyone an email about how everyone is sending email wrong. Jan, did you watch last night's episode? Can you believe the chef poisoned the mayor's father? Well, if you don't want spoilers, then you shouldn't answer your phone. Stevens, invest everyone's 401k money in branded ringtones. I have a good feeling. Hey, Ray, my computer's doing that thing where my waffles come out all soggy. Fine, toaster, whatever it's called, just fix it. Ray, I was trying to buy shoes online, and long story short, there's a Dolly Madison silver dollar stuck in my floppy drive. Hey, Ray, I don't know if it's a network thing or something with the servers, but I'm lonely. Stevens, I've got a contact at the bank offering 4 quarters for $1. Get down there and buy 'em out. Dr. Gremlick, I'm still having that stress problem. My job is super important, and yet I have 0 stress. Anyway, have a good day. Stevens, add another diet grape juice to my food diary. And do not mention that little chocolate from Paul's desk. I told you about that in confidence. Stevens, I love you, goodbye. Oh, and Allison, you're fired. Oh, and Brian, you're fired. Oh, and Brooke, you're fired. Oh, and Clara, you're fired. Oh, and Laura, you're fired. Oh, and Lena, you're fired. Oh, and Michael, you're fired. Oh, and Owen, you're fired. Oh, and Ryan, you're fired. No votes? Well, that's boring. Next time, use your device to pick your favorite. This process works a lot better when somebody votes. Look, the first rule of management is offer good feedback. So this is me telling you to vote next time. This is not making me confident in your future job performance. You know what? Don't call us. We'll call you. Nice trick stealing words from the question. Hey, you grab words from the question. I see you rated the question for some extra words. You can use just about any text you see on your device. Hello? Anybody there? Ugh, I guess I'll just give the job to my weird cousin. Where'd everybody go? Well, we'll keep your resumes on file. Did everybody leave? Was it something I said? No, can't be. I'm charming. Oh well, bye. Okay then, let's dive in. Skip this. Got it. Oh, you know the drill. Then let's go. Hey, don't let me slow you down. I see you've got someplace to be. Since we've got an odd number, I'm putting our 3 strongest candidates in one matchup. Yes, sir, we all love the motivational wall art the board picked out. It's much nicer than that boring old picture of my family. Right away, sir, I'll tell them anyone can join the board by going to jackbox.tv and entering the room code. Yes, ma'am, we're all feeling very motivated by the posters the board sent along. I might even join the board myself by going to jackbox.tv and entering the room code. I shouldn't? Okay then. This round, every vote earns you even more points. Nice. Using words from 3 separate people earns you an extra bonus. Since it's the last round, how about an even bigger score bonus? Next time try changing at least 1 word in the original author's answer. I don't give bonuses for stealing until after you're hired. Cool. Using words from 3 different people is worth a bonus. Using words from 3 different people is worth a reward. Variety is the spice of business. I know one of these is better than the other, but as a test, why don't you guys choose? Of course, I could easily pick the best answer, but my business senses are telling me to make you guys do it. We've got an odd number of candidates, so I'm putting our top 3 together. Since there's an odd number of you, let's pit our top-scoring candidates against each other. An odd number means our 3 best applicants get to fight it out. We've got an odd number, so the 3 of you with the highest scores are going head-to-head. It's the final round, so I'm upping the point bonus even more. It's the last round, and the board has approved a generous bonus to your score. In the final round, impressing your peers nets you an even bigger bonus. It's the last round, so let's really jack up that score bonus, shall we? Just about any text you see on your device is fair game. You can use almost any text on your device in your answers. This round, I'm giving out even more points. This round, good answers net you even more points. This round, winning answers boost your score even more. This round, each vote's worth even more. Nice work! And I'm talking to the author of the original phrase since you didn't change a dang word. Be more original next time. I'm all for repurposing ideas, but the original author is like right there. Change at least a few words next time.
Keep your hands away from my buttons, I'm on a break. If there's too many of you, some of you can be in the audience. I promise it's just as thrilling. Can I get anyone anything? No, I cannot. Any other questions? Get busy jobbing or get busy dying, that's what I say. Apparently Jackbox.tv is a website? Go there and enter the room code and stop staring at me. You didn't hear it from me, but Bob and Dennis are a thing now. I read everybody's mail. I have to stay late tonight because I'm plugged into the wall. If you're not playing, you can join our esteemed board of directors in the audience by entering the room code at jackbox.tv. I'd offer you some coffee, but the pot's out sick today. Daily grind will get to you. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for second lunch. Really looking forward to cardigan weather. Anyone here single? Sorry, I meant got any singles? I gotta take the bus home today. Did someone leave the cracker box open? That's a penalty. Do you say GIF or JIF? I say Jeff. Did you ask a question? I'm never listening. Maybe I'll still get to see Paris. If you're playing with kids, you might want to check the content control section in the pause menu. As for me, this is as family-friendly as I get. I'm supposed to say you can change the settings from the pause menu now without quitting the game. Welcome to the 90s. If you're tired of all the bosses yapping, you can turn on skip tutorials in the pause menu. Just don't come crying to me when you're confused. You can turn down the volume for music, voice, and sound effects from the game's pause menu. It's not like people worked hard on those things or anything. I picked a bad day to give up scrapbooking. Somebody pushed me closer to the window. Personally, I like drawful. Now there's a game. I'm sneaking out early for a massage. Gotta get these kinks out of my cord. I don't think we're a real company, just FYI. I wasn't always like this. I got cursed by a witch. My life is mostly the same. I don't care which of you gets hired. I'm not validating anyone's parking. Yeah, I've been around. I remember when these games maxed out at 8 players. No, I do not know Cookie. Hey you, you're halfway through the timer. I'm here to inform you that you've used half of your time. Half your time is up. You should be halfway done now, okay? You are about halfway through the timer. Time's almost up. Hey, you're almost out of time. You should hurry, time's running out. Hurry up, you don't want to run out of time. Finish your answer before time runs out. Hey you, you're halfway through the timer. I'm here to inform you that you've used half your time. Half your time is up. You should be halfway done now, okay? You're about halfway through the timer. Time's almost up. Hurry up, you don't want to run out of time. Hey, you're almost out of time. You should hurry, time's running out. Finish your answer before time runs out.
I'm sending some icebreaker questions to your device. I'm gonna send some icebreaker questions to your device. Okay, Kevin, ready for some water cooler gossip? Sometimes after a long workday, I put Pop Rocks in my tank just to take the edge off. Hello? Yes, we're out of paper. And before you ask, no, it's not because I photocopied myself dozens of times to see what the back of my head looks like. Stevens, it's time for an office treat. I just placed an order for a milkshake, and everyone can have a sip. Stevens, I can't tell if it's nerves or condensation, but I am really excited about these applicants. Now bring me a towel. Bob, good news about that vacation you wanted. I got you a tiny desk fan and a screensaver that looks like the beach. Hello? Stevens, I crunched some numbers, and it looks like we're losing a ton of money on this thing called payroll. Get rid of it. Dave, it's Bubs again. Any word on getting that fancy laminating machine? Yes, I soaked through another stack of business cards. Janice, I'm thinking of repainting the office. Should I go with eggshell or taupe? You're right. Eggshell is too flashy. Stevens, I've heard music in the office boosts morale. Now, I only have 2 CDs, so see if people prefer smooth jazz or Maroon 5. Deborah, what does my Thursday look like? Sunny with a chance of business? I like it. Stevens, I'm feeling a little salty today. Yeah, I don't think I'm using my neti pot correctly. Stevens, who's been eating all my pudding? You know I can't digest anything with corners. Huge news, Stevens. I just learned I'm the only one who can prevent forest fires. We've got to capitalize on this somehow. Off the stew, cook it in a pot. Off the stew, stir it up. It's a bowl full of staplers and binder clips and stuff. Off the stew, office, yum, yum, yum. Were you recording that, Stevens? Well, why not? Hello? You want to talk to me about my car's extended warranty? In this economy? Stevens, has someone been microwaving fish in the break room? No? Well, why not? You should see them, Jan. It's just like The Notebook. No, not the movie. I drew a picture of people applying for a job in my notebook. Anyway, it's like that. Of course the job comes with benefits, Jan. They get to work with me. Oh, no, there's no insurance or anything. Miranda, I'd like to boost morale. Let's treat everyone to lunch. Delivery? No, just open a can of tuna right on their desks. Tuna is a treat, Miranda. Hello. Yes, sir. No, this isn't IT. This is Bubs, sir. I guess I can help. You'd like to be linked to the board. Have you tried going to jackbox.tv? Try that. Okay. Now put in the room code. It's on the screen, sir. No, down in the corner there. Okay, good. Yes, you are good at technology, sir. Mark, have any of our lobbyists gotten to the senator? Our lobbyist is the senator? Mark, I'm starting to think neither of us know how politics work. Stevens, I need you to call security ASAP. The creepiest looking guy I've ever seen just walked by and... Oh, that's your new haircut. Take the rest of the day off and fix it. How many times do I need to say this, Stevens? Only authorized personnel are allowed on the rooftop patio, and I'm not authorized. If I catch me up there again, you're in a lot of trouble. Stevens, am I allergic to gluten? Well, I'm about to eat an entire baguette for lunch, so you've got about 5 minutes to find out. Hello? Board members can join the audience if they go to jackbox.tv and put in the room code. I already know that. Stop calling here. Stevens, hold my calls. Love my calls. Cherish my calls. Do what I could never do for my calls. They deserve that much. Note to self. $1 million idea. Uber for other Ubers. Super Uber. Super. Okay, it's called Soup. End note. Spencer, I was just calling to check if you were still on hold with my cable provider like I asked, but clearly you've decided that this phone call with me is more important than your job. Do better. Deborah, get corporate on the phone. They have that really catchy hold music and these interviews are still going. Stevens, what's this about needing a company wellness program? We already have a company well. What's more relaxing than fetching a pail of water? Yes? We have rats in our basement. They're hired. Tell the raccoon she's been replaced. Stevens, just calling to see if you received all those iTunes gift cards you asked for. Fraud? Lucky I used the corporate credit card. Stevens, keep an eye on that washing machine in accounting. I suspect him of money laundering. Get it, Stevens? Hello? Jan, take dictation. To the airport. At around 1 o'clock. No, Jan, take Richard Tation to the airport at 1 o'clock. Hey, Cam, what's the name of the new security guy? We don't have security? Let's just hire that guy. He's got moxie. I'm gonna send some icebreaker questions to your device. Answer them any way you want. There are no rules. Except this one rule. You gotta use at least 5 words, okay? What is your greatest strength? Can you tell me about a time you failed? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How do you like to be managed? What is your dream job? What makes you unique? What are you most passionate about? How do you define success? What makes you want to work here? What were you doing during the gap in your employment history? What accomplishment are you most proud of? What is your approach to getting along with others? How did you hear about this position? What does leadership mean to you? What's the toughest decision you've had to make? How would your colleagues describe you? If you're hired, what can we expect from you in your first 30 days? How did things go with the last project you led? What's the most important feedback you've ever received? If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? What are you looking for in terms of employee benefits? What's the biggest thing you'd bring to our company culture? You discover your lunch is missing from the company fridge. What do you do? Someone has been urinating in the supply closet and you know who it is. What do you do? Your manager asks for suggestions on improving company morale. What do you say? A coworker asks you to buy magazine subscriptions for his son's marching band. What do you do? You notice some money has been stolen from petty cash. How do you handle it? The business next door says we're making too much noise. What do you do? Your coworker invites you to their improv comedy show. What do you do? You're at the company paintball retreat and you've got your manager in your sights. What do you do? Your coworker has frequent, loud conversations on speakerphone. What do you do? You discover your manager is taking credit for your ideas. How do you respond? You're tasked with increasing productivity by 50%. What do you do? Someone microwaved fish in the office kitchen. What do you do? You find out your coworker is gossiping about you behind your back. What do you say to them? The office can't agree on the best temperature for the thermostat. How do you solve the issue? It's 10 a.m. and we're out of coffee. What do you do? A gorilla has escaped from the zoo and is roaming the office. What do you do? The office is hit by a time warp and everyone but you turns into a baby dinosaur. How do you respond? Your manager's identical twin keeps showing up to prank the office. What do you do? The company organizes a talent show to raise money for charity. What's your talent? How would you describe your personality? How do you calm down when you're stressed? What drives you? What is something that inspires you? How do you make a good first impression? What is something you are proud of? What is something you wish you had more time for? What's an interesting hobby you enjoy? How do you unwind after work? How would you describe your work ethic? What does loyalty mean to you? How do you handle conflict? What makes you tick? How much can you lift? What makes you cry? What's in your briefcase right now? What is your ideal workspace? Where do good ideas come from? What's your deepest regret? What's your professional backup plan? What was your biggest issue with your former employer? Why did you leave your former occupation? What's the most effective way to start off a meeting? What motivates you to give 110% every day? In your opinion, what is a manager's primary role? How do you normally start off a sales pitch? What would the HR department at your last job say about you? What rule do you hope to find in the employee handbook? What's the secret to a proper work-life balance? As a child, what was your dream career? What's something on your list of life goals? How do you feel about inter-office romances? What qualities do you look for in a team? How would you describe your casual Friday look? What usually kills small businesses in their first year? Where should we send your first paycheck? What's a team-building exercise you'd like us to implement? What do you hope to find in the office recreation room? Do you have any resolutions for the new year? At the company retreat, everyone shared a vulnerable secret. And now it's your turn. What do you say? A coworker is keeping a pet under their desk despite our no animal policy. What do you say? A coworker keeps leaving you out of the group lunch order. What do you say to them? You suspect the office party decorations violate the fire safety code. What do you do? What are your core competencies? Describe your ideal retirement. Aside from family or whatever, what's your greatest joy? What's a weakness of yours that could be seen as a strength? What's your ideal power outfit? How do you deal with rude people? What's your typical work lunch? What does family mean to you? What's something you always keep in your wallet? Do you have any questions for us? It's opposite day and now you're the boss. What's your first decree? You reached for the stapler and accidentally brushed hands with a coworker. What do you do now? Someone's already in the room you reserved for the team meeting. What do you do? Everyone's laughing about something in the kitchen. What are they laughing at? Boy, your tie has a lot of mustard on it. What's your next move? The new intern is much, much smarter than you. How do you assert yourself? There's a window washer outside your office window right now. What do you do? It's Tuesday pizza day and it's your turn to make the call. What order is sure to please everyone? Ted's birthday card just got to your desk. What message do you write inside? Time for a new email signature. What inspirational phrase is going under your name? Deborah has a killer snack stash in her desk. What are you grabbing out of there? Your new manager wants to know exactly what it is you do around here. What do you say? Trent is dropping TV spoilers in the carpool again. How do you get revenge on Trent? The company retreat has predictably turned into a Lord of the Flies situation. What's your role in this new bloodthirsty society? How can we improve our health and wellness initiative? Where would you like to go for the company retreat? How would you manage employees without talking down to them? How do you know you're too sick to come into work? What question would you like to ask our CEO? What's an underappreciated skill in today's corporate culture? What's the workplace safety tip you find most important? We don't have a daycare, so what do you plan to do with your kids during the day? Our office might be a little haunted. Do you know how to get rid of ghosts? The CEO is late. The investors are getting antsy. How do you stall? You catch one of your coworkers stealing office supplies. What do you do? Your manager texts you after work hours. What do you text back to let them know you're off the clock? If your clone tried to take your job, how could we tell the difference between you and evil you? We like to view our office as a heist team. What would your job be during a bank robbery? Our office is doing an 80s-themed escape room. What's your first step in finding a way out? Let's say your coworker frames you for a crime. How do you evade the authorities? We loan you the company time machine. What's the first thing you do? Our office likes to engage in April Fool's Day. What's your favorite prank? You mistakenly drink a soda from the office fridge labeled "Don't Touch." What do? It's company karaoke night. Attendance and singing is mandatory. What's the name of your go-to song? What makes you excited to get up in the morning? If we had to fire you someday, how would you prefer to be notified? What makes you anxious? You accidentally set off the office sprinkler system. What do you do? Your manager says you'd be a hero if you could pull an all-nighter on Friday. How do you respond? You're stuck in a broken elevator with a coworker who's been stealing your pens. What do you say to them? At a team-building retreat, your coworkers just had a disastrous trust fall mishap. It's your turn to fall. What do you do? Weird hypothetical. What would you tell the feds if they started investigating our business practices? A movie slasher finds their way into our office. How do you survive? When the CEO retires, what gift would you bring to the party? There's been a murder in the break room. How do you solve the mystery? What's a charitable cause that's close to your heart? Where are you spiritually/emotionally in life? How do you turn things around when you feel like giving up? What's the only thing more exciting than career success? What's the difference between a team player and a lone wolf? What do you like to listen to while you work? How would you end a meeting that's gone on for too long? Suppose it's your last day in the office. What are your parting words at the all-company meeting? We have something in our basement. How do you kill a vampire? You're the first one in the video meeting. How are you spending the time before everyone else shows up? Our marketing department wants to appeal to youthful consumers. What do college students like these days? How would you fire a coworker? What do you look for in a mentor? What's your biggest guilty pleasure? How do you plan on commuting to work? What's the key to good networking? What is the biggest obstacle you've overcome? What do you believe in? Trish just winked at you and said, "Looks like it's Monday." What do you do? There's something incessantly beeping near Frank's desk. How do you respond? The company is instituting a stricter dress code policy. How do you respond? Trish just insinuated that your social media presence is a little spicy. How do you respond? The company softball team needs something to boost their chances of winning the championship. What do you suggest? You notice Frank fell asleep at his desk. Again. What do you do to wake him? Everyone at work thinks your ideas are terrible. How do you respond? A creative brainstorm spirals out of control. How do you get everyone back to reality? The company is looking for a new mascot. What do you suggest? What is a daily goal that you set for yourself? What's the best way to multitask? Your manager wants you to write their reports for them. How do you respond? Everyone left for lunch before you were ready to go. What do? Ted was promoted to manager even though you were next in line. How do you respond? 30 human-sized robots that look just like you and your coworkers are delivered to the office. How do you respond? Deborah keeps making a big fuss about her work anniversary. What do? You accidentally let one rip in an open office space. What's the best thing to say post-fart? Trent is making the rounds, seeing if anyone wants to hang after work. What do you do to avoid him? Deborah wants you to water her precious succulents while she's at the beach. How do you respond? Somehow your idea for work prom gets approved. What's the best theme for the event? You need a report from Barb, but she refuses to get it to you. How do you get the report? The office is trying to go green. How would you personally try to save the planet at work? It appears a small fire has started. What should we do? How will you show up Trent's party sub at the company holiday party? The trash can is full and everyone's ignoring it. What do you do? What did you tweet that got you called into HR? Our office does have a playground. How will you spend your 30 minutes of recess? Someone beat your score on the company pinball machine. What do you do? How would you convince everyone that you're the strongest person in the office? Chase, the office clown, has tricked you into sitting on a whoopee cushion. Everyone is looking at you. How do you respond? A bird has built a nest outside your window. How do you respond professionally? The company has put a strict firewall on certain websites. How would you get around it? Your manager has been replaced with an alien who's a surprisingly good boss. How do you respond? Ah, fiddlesticks, your pen's out of ink. What do you do? You're done with work and it's only 4:30 p.m. How do you kill time? Our office thrives on positive feedback. What's the nicest criticism you've ever received? Chase, the office clown, has stolen all the TP from the stalls. What do you do when you have to, what's the best way to get away with a classic meeting nap? No one is dancing at the holiday party. How do you get the party started? You've been selected to go on your first international business trip. How do you prepare? We sometimes work late. Does the full moon have any strange effects on you that we should know about? There's not enough tasty gossip in this office. What rumor would you start? Chase, the office clown, has let a goose loose in the building. What do you do if the bird corners you? Tyler says he's the most flexible person in the office. How do you ruin his whole deal? If your mom applied to work here, what department would they be good for? Can you keep a secret? We have a lot of protected information. What would it take to get you to spill your guts? How would you command attention during the quarterly budget report? Your manager is coming over for dinner. How do you get on their good side? How do you convince your coworkers to come to your community theater show? You'll have to go through security every day. What will we find on your full-body x-ray? We enjoy novelty mugs here. What does yours say? The boss is bored. What's the most interesting bit of trivia you know? Larry is selling candy for their kids' marching band. How do you respond? When we take office photos, what would you do if we asked to do a silly one? Let's say Mark has just taken your parking spot. How do you respond? Around the holidays, we like to do some charity. What would you be willing to donate? What features would you hope to see in the executive washroom? If they filmed our office for a sitcom, what wacky hijinks could we expect from your character? It's Administrative Professionals Day. What's something nice we could do for Rhonda? We're not accusing you of anything, but what were you doing last Thursday at 7 p.m.? It's your turn to change the toner in the copier, which you've never done. What's your approach? Looks like there's a friendly competition over homemade office snacks. What do you bring in? You join the video call late, just as the CEO asks, anything you'd like to add? What do you say? You run into your manager in a non-work setting. What's an appropriate greeting? We're hosting a fancy event. The CEO asks you for a makeover. What do you do? Theoretically, we're having mass layoffs. We can only save one person from your team. What would you say to keep your job? What do you put on your desk to show everyone you're fun? The CEO is visiting and wants your honest opinion on your manager. What do you say? Candace did a great job hosting the office happy hour. How do you show your appreciation? We both know what happened. Care to explain yourself? You were made eco-captain of the department. What's your first Earth-friendly decree? What out-of-office message would you set to ensure no one contacts you for any reason? Alas, you have turned into a cockroach overnight. How do you inform your employer of your metamorphosis? What's the title of the video link you accidentally sent to the entire company? Your manager says you're in charge of executive training now. What's the title of your professional development course? Today's book club discussion is getting heated. How do you contribute to the discourse? The company servers are down. How do you convince your coworkers that you definitely know how to fix them? Trent took a corner slice of Becca's birthday cake without asking. What's your next move? You're 1 day away from retirement. What ill-advised activity do you tempt fate with? We got conned by a fast-talking salesman. Again. What should we do with all the bananas and super glue we bought? You discover someone has made the bathroom inhospitable. How do you respond? Trent has come to work on a hoverboard again. How do you get him to stop? Scary computer guy has left dishes in the kitchen sink. How do you confront him without setting him off? Chase, the office clown, is crying quietly in the break room while filling up water balloons. How do you respond? A client is not satisfied with their service and is becoming irate. How do you respond? It's bring your child to work day and Jerry's son won't stop bothering you. What do you do? The massive eagle terrorizing the office inevitably takes our smallest coworker. How would you rescue them? Your favorite zero-calorie club soda is replaced with a generic brand. How do you professionally throw a fit about this? All the dongles are tangled. How do you respond? You discover Trish applying for a new job at a competing company. How do you respond? It's the annual company potluck. What are you bringing? What's your greatest workplace fear? Your manager asks you to donate a kidney to his sick nephew. How do you respond? It's down to you and Jerry for the big promotion. What do you do to make sure you get it? Everybody's talking about a TV show you've never seen. Quick, say something insightful about last night's episode. Your significant other says they want to work here too. How do you respond? One of your coworkers, Candace, is like super cool. How do you get her to be your work friend? You can't find the bathroom on your first day of work. What do you do? Frank won't stop listening to super loud music while he works. How do you respond? You have time to squeeze in a quick workout during lunch. What exercise do you do? You want your coworkers to know it's your birthday, but like in a chill, subtle way. What do? You go to the break room and discover Jerry is sitting in your favorite spot. How do you react? You accidentally clicked on a phishing email and now the company's data has been stolen. What do? You accidentally broke the shared microwave by ripping the door off its hinges. What do you do now? You've received intel that there is an extremely luxurious bathroom in the CEO's office. The CEO is on vacation. What do you do? The ceiling tile above your desk begins leaking water right on your head. How do you react? You send your manager a saucy text meant for someone else. How do you address the error? Company morale is in the gutter after a bad meeting. What do you say to lift everyone's spirits? You're at the annual company barbecue and Todd's burning all the meats. What do? There's a company fish fry, but we're all out of fish. How do you respond? The district manager is visiting the office from corporate and you want to make a good impression. How do you stand out? You referred someone to the company and it turns out they're a total disaster. What do? Your supervisor gives you a less than stellar performance review. How do you respond? Your manager decides to play terrible music over the speakers all day. How do you react? There are donuts on the office kitchen table with a note that says, "Take just one." What do? You arrive to work for the day and discover a metallic pink scooter parked in your reserved spot. How do you react? Your headset has been covered in grape jelly by the office prankster. How do you respond? The office is always way too cold or way too hot. What do you say to the maintenance person? Your manager gave you the company car for the weekend and you completely totaled it. What do you do next? A coworker poached one of your hard-earned sales? How do you respond? It was your turn to run the company dishwasher, but you are already clocked out for the day. What do? The rickety old vending machine has claimed one of your precious dollars once again. How do you react? You had your picture taken for your work badge and it's awful. What do? A coworker of yours has been fired and is deeply upset. What do you say to comfort them? You're the last one in the office today. What do you do for everyone to make tomorrow special? Trish has just gotten engaged. How do you hide your anger and jealousy? The company is using security software to spy on everyone's computers. It's for your own good. How do you respond? There's a mandatory initiation period for new hires. What derogatory nickname do you prefer? You have not been invited to Trish's wedding. Does this mean something? How do you react? The world's going to explode in 2 minutes. What do you do? Carol wants to hang out after work. What's your excuse for bailing? In your opinion, why was last year's company picnic such a disaster? You decide to play hooky from work. I won't tell. What do you do instead? The last page of your big report is missing. What do you tell your manager? Trent's been in the restroom for an hour. What do you whisper under the door? What's your approach to making new friends at work? What really pushes your buttons? How will you give your desk a personal touch? What's a takeaway lesson from your last job? What's the first rule of a successful presentation? You have 30 seconds. How do you get rid of this pumpkin? A natural disaster has struck and emergency services can't reach the office. How do you respond? You find yourself working late alone with the chatty custodian. How do you get around the fact that you don't know his name? The office holiday party is getting a little rowdy. What do you do? It's been a long, stressful day, and the boss has let everyone go home early. Except for you. How do you react? You arrive at the office, and it's closed for a holiday. No one told you. How do you react? The office coffee pot has become sentient and is terrorizing the staff with scalding hot decaf. What do? You spilled your lasagna all over the office's freshly installed carpeting. What's your next step? Your manager offers you a fancy company laptop, not realizing you were already given one. What do you do? Greg keeps copying you by buying the same quirky ties. How do you react? You jammed the costly office printer, perhaps permanently. What do you do? You visited the dark web one time and now your computer has a virus. What do? You're giving a company-wide presentation, but you didn't prepare. What do? You wake up feeling unwell, but you don't have any sick days left. What do? A reporter stops you on your way to work and says the company is under investigation for fraud. How do you react? What's the best way to motivate you? Where do you get your best ideas? What does collaboration mean to you? How are you spending your paid sick days this year? How can this company cultivate a youthful vibe? People have noticed you scrolling through your ex's new partner's social media on company time. How do you explain yourself? Management is requesting all company technology be returned to IT for inspection. What might we find in your browser history? You see Frank pick something out of the trash and eat it. How do you respond? You see coworkers leave the same bathroom stall together. How do you respond? How do you stay motivated at work? How do you act under pressure? Tell me about a time you exhibited leadership qualities. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You have Frank for the office Secret Santa. What do you get him? Michelle, the office ghost, has been haunting your cubicle. How do you react? You're in charge of designing the uniforms for the company softball game. What's going on that jersey? Flora won't stop showing you pictures of her grandkids. What do you say to her? The team building retreat is this weekend. How are you going to get out of it? The new hire seems super cool. What do you do to make them feel welcome in the office? You get stuck in the elevator after work. How do you escape? Deborah and her 4 ferrets want to carpool to work with you. How do you respond? How do you feel about working overtime on weekends? A coworker has casually mentioned unionization. How do you respond? What's a time you disagreed with the decision that was made at work? A coworker who started before you just asked what your salary is. How do you respond? Everyone except you has been transformed into a toddler. How do you keep the company running? Frank stole your good chair that spins. Again. How do you respond? Your manager is letting you go and requesting that you train your replacement. How do you react? The office is currently being fumigated, but you need an important file from your desk. What do you do? Someone has been photocopying their butt and leaving the pictures in your cubicle. What do you do? The CEO has just told you she is retiring and handing over the reins to you. How do you respond? Your coworker is clamming up in an important meeting. How do you help them out? The office is relocating to Wisconsin, but you have a paralyzing fear of the Midwest. How do you respond? Your personal mug is missing from the office kitchenette. What's your next step? Your best office buddy is eating lunch with the new hire instead of you. How do you react? The office slacker is asking for your help on a project due tomorrow. How do you react? Nick, the extreme couponer, stole your flyer for 20% off at the local pizza place. What do you do? The employee handbook is updated to include a ban on dyed hair and tattoos. You have both. What do? You discover a portal to another realm in the office supply closet. What do you do? It's bring your dog to work day and your cubicle neighbor brought a wild wolf. How do you react? You go golfing with the CEO and accidentally catch him cheating. What do you do? Frank has been out of the office for a month and no one has seen or heard from him. What do you do? An obsidian monolith that hums incessantly has appeared in the break room. How do you respond? Megan is turning everyone against you. How do you respond? The Wi-Fi has become unbearably slow. How do you respond? It's March and the holiday tree is still up and ruining the lobby. How do you get rid of it? We have 2 HRs, a mommy HR and a daddy HR. How should we decide which one gets custody of you? How will you be spending your contractually obligated 15-minute break? You notice a fellow coworker clearing out their desk midday. What do? Your manager informs you that the CEO is being voted out by the company's board. How do you react? You've overslept after a night of extreme bowling. Your boss calls and demands to know why you're late. What do you tell them? You notice an embarrassing typo on the company website. What do you do? Management has introduced a new company uniform, and it's hideous. How do you react? The CEO asks you to say the company slogan in their new commercial. How do you respond? The company installs a new beer fridge for use on Friday afternoons. How do you react? You finally nabbed the coveted corner office. How are you celebrating? The entire office is covered in sand. What do you do? Trent is getting way too competitive at office trivia night. What do you do? You're stuck in a long elevator ride with the district manager. Quick, say something to make it less awkward. What do you think is lurking on our mysterious 13th floor? You just got back from a great vacation. What souvenir did you bring back for your coworkers? You've biked to the office and gotten all sweaty, but there's no shower you can use to freshen up. What do? You arrive at the office and there's a bird sitting at your desk, calmly doing your work. How do you respond? Your manager's kid is demanding to know what happens after you die. What do you tell them? On a daily basis, how do you hope to empower your coworkers? What would you say is your core competency? Can you tell me a time when you thought outside the box? On your daily video conferences, a dark, ghostly figure stands behind the client and has been inching closer and closer. How do you respond? Every day this week, the CEO has offered you, and only you, a lollipop. How do you respond? You're on a 72-hour business trip with your chattiest coworker. How do you keep yourself sane? Everyone has been offered a holiday bonus except you. How do you react to the mistake? A keg delivery that was intended for a bar with the same name has arrived at the company. How do you respond? The company has laid off the custodial staff and implemented a chore wheel. How do you respond? The CEO's awful son is now your direct supervisor. How do you respond? Everyone in the office has unexpectedly grown a mustache. How do you respond? Trent's massive desk toy collection is encroaching on your space. How do you respond? Everyone in the office is suddenly barefoot. How do you respond? To promote health and wellness, everyone's chairs have been replaced with giant bouncy balls. How do you respond? Trent and Frank are duking it out on the parking lot. What do you do? On Fridays, all crime is legal in the office. What are you gonna do? Should a pack of stray dogs find their way into the office, how would you establish dominance? You get lost in the woods during the company retreat. What's your first move? You need to get back in the office but forgot your keys. How do you get past the security system? We looked you up on social media. Care to explain what you're doing in this photo? Tell me, why would you be Employee of the Month? It's Halloween! What costume are you wearing into the office? Ugh, someone replaced all the good office snacks with healthy ones. How do you react? How would you describe your sense of humor? How do you handle rejection? What would you say has been the high point of your career? How would you define integrity? What is the most exciting thing about the future of our industry? What would you consider the rock bottom of your career? Describe how you will help take our business to the next level. Give me one good reason why I should not hire you. One of the interns has called you Kelly. You are not Kelly. How do you respond? You've accidentally been copied on an email with sensitive information. How do you respond? We're a cool office. What dope thing should we get to make work fun for you? You've been blamed for eating someone's lunch from the fridge. How will you react? You have been watching Flora attempt to charge her phone with the wrong cable for an hour. How do you finally intervene? A coworker on a video conference thinks her camera is off and has been picking her nose. How do you respond? It's your birthday and everyone forgot. How do you respond? A coworker is visibly sick. How do you sanitize the area without offending them? Trent is wearing the shortest shorts for Casual Friday. How do you tactfully confront him? What do you like to do when you get to the office earlier than everyone else? You lied and said you speak German on your resume, and now someone from the German office is here. What do you do? Some folks from the office want to start a bowling team. What should the team be called? Trent won't stop interrupting you to show you viral videos of kittens. How do you respond? You're complaining about your manager when you look up and see them staring at you. How do you save face? We're handing out swag at the company picnic. What do you want to see in your swag bag? Deborah is demanding that you accept her friend request on social media. How do you react? Trent likes to lift weights at his desk. How do you react? The office is crawling with termites. How can we get rid of them on the cheap?